Welcome back. So today we're doing something a little different. We've got 8 scriptural verses, just chosen completely randomly.
Yeah, totally random. Across the board, history, prophecy, songs, letters.
Right. And our mission, I guess, is to see if we can find, well, a single thread. Can these scattered pieces actually point to one coherent idea?
And spoiler alert, they absolutely do. It's actually pretty stark when you line them up. They all converge on this theme. Humanity's just insufficient, totally. Morally, spiritually, even cognitively.
Wow. Okay.
But then the flip side is the sufficiency, the power, the agency of God is the only real answer.
Okay, let's dig in.
Let's start with that diagnosis then. Human insufficiency. Psalms 135.15 hits it hard, describing idols as simply the work of the hands of men.
Right, but here's where it gets really interesting. The Hebrew word there for idol, atsab.
Atsab, what about it?
Well, it doesn't just mean idol. It also means sorrow, grief even.
Wait, so the word for idol is the word for sorrow? Pretty much. The implication is, well, profound. We literally make our own misery when we create these human solutions for spiritual needs. They inherently produce sorrow.
Manufacturing our own grief. Okay.
And that tendency, that striving, it leads straight to self-destruction.
Yeah.
That's what Hosea 13.9 is hammering home.
Right. Thou hast destroyed thyself, O Israel.
For against me, against thy help thou art. It frames sin as, well, fundamentally suicidal. You're positioning yourself against your only possible source of help. The word there is atar, you're only a darter.
So, setting yourself against your lifeline, what does that result in if the diagnosis is self-destruction?
The result is just profound weakness. Romans 8.26 nails it. It talks about this deep inability, this asthenia.
Okay.
It says, we do not know what we should pray for as we ought. That's the rock bottom, isn't it? Cognitively, spiritually, we're so broken we don't even know how to ask for help properly.
Doesn't even know what words to use. Wow. Okay, so that's the human condition described here. Pretty bleak.
It is bleak. But then contrast that with the divine side of the equation. The scale of God's power is just something else. Look at Judges 5.5.
Judges 5.5. What's happening there?
Deborah's song. When God shows up, the mountains, the ultimate symbols of permanence, stability.
Yeah, solid as a rock.
They didn't just tremble. The Hebrew word nazal means they flowed, they liquefied.
Liquefied. The mountains.
Yeah, liquefied. It's this incredible statement about ontological priority. God's reality is the fundamental reality. Everything else, even mountains, is contingent, sort of fluid in his presence.
Mind-bending, mountains melting. But how does that immense reality-bending power connect back to our little problem of not knowing how to pray? It seems like a huge gap.
But that's the amazing part. That's the remedy. Back to Romans 8.26, the same passage that diagnoses the weakness.
Right, the asthenia.
It says the Spirit intervenes, and the Greek verb used is fantastic, synantilambanomai. Synantilambanomai. It literally means to take hold of together with, like grabbing something heavy alongside someone else.
So a co-effort, divine co-participation.
Exactly. The Spirit comes alongside, takes hold with us in our weakness, and intercedes with groanings unutterable.
Groanings unutterable.
Yeah. It gives voice to those deep longings we can't even put into words, like in Psalms 119, verse 123, that sense of exhaustion, just longing for salvation. The Spirit articulates that.
So the same power that liquefies mountains is also intimately involved inside us, groaning with us.
Precisely. And this isn't just a one-off intervention. Nehemiah 9.6 talks about God not just as the creator who started things, but as the one actively, constantly sustaining everything, keeping the entire cosmos alive, moment by moment.
Okay, so existence itself is constant dependence, every breath, every star.
Right. So if that's the reality, total dependence, what should our posture be? How should we live?
Job gives us a clue, doesn't he? Job 1.1.
The perfect archetype. Job isn't defined by strength or independence. He's Tom and Yasha, blameless and upright. But the root of that integrity, it's Yaraj Allers, fearing God. Not terror, but reverent, dependent awe. That's the foundation.
A posture of dependence. And how does that translate into action?
Well, 1 Timothy 2.1 gives us the collective action. The ecclesia, the assembly, is told to make prayers all kinds, supplications, intercessions, thanksgivings constantly.
For everyone.
For all men. It's aligning our acknowledged dependence with the Spirit's active help. It's how we participate, in this reality of dependence.
Okay. And this isn't just a canonical thing, right? You mentioned Enoch.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even in texts like 1 Enoch, you see this theme. The fallen watchers, these powerful beings, they realize their own insufficiency. They actually have to ask Enoch, the righteous human, to intercede for them.
Wow. Even the powerful fallen need a mediator. The need is universal.
It underlines the point. Dependence and the need for mediation are constants.
So, bringing it all together, these 8 seemingly random verses,
Yeah.
they paint a picture.
A very clear picture. A world where our fundamental problem is, well, self-destruction. Turning away from the only source of help.
And the solution.
An all-powerful God who is also intimately involved. The one who sustains reality itself, but also comes alongside to groan with us when we don't have the words. The ultimate easer.
Which leaves us, and you listening, with a final thought to chew on.
Right. If Hosea's diagnosis is true, that destruction comes from turning against our help, how does that play out today?
Yeah, think about our modern tendency to rely only on human-made solutions. Are these just the modern versions of those sorrow-producing idols, the atsab?
Are we still manufacturing our own grief by ignoring the source of help? What should you be learning to discern, as Matthew 24 puts it, about the signs of the times, about where true help lies? Something to think about.